That wasn't the chit chat you saw on the internal servers back then?
No, we were trying to find Osama bin Laden. I mean, literally trying to find Osama bin Laden.
Right.
That was my job. I was in CTC in the CIA's counterterrorism center, and there was a sense. Now, remember, I was there in the early, starting around 2005. So there was a very clear mission set. You had us working very closely with military, including tier one strike units, going after the worst of the worst. But starting around the Obama era, which is when I left, things started to shift and they got very adept. And this is kind of a longer narrative, but these agencies, and this is why I was thinking about it when we were talking about USAID a moment ago, these agencies have really mirrored what you saw happen, Megyn, in the university system, where it's almost like an invasive species in nature gets a foothold and then takes over an entire ecosystem and blocks out all the other species. What you have is people inside of the federal bureaucracy who are radical left partisans, and this usually comes through HR, the DEI office, the left-wing commissars, if you will. They start to demand certain policies. They start to hire certain kinds of people. They create a pipeline for more of this madness. Just like how we saw the faculty lounges across America, even at the most elite universities, just have gone completely insane over the last 20 years. You could say it's maybe longer than that. This has happened throughout the intelligence community too. And when you don't have people showing up, you had this post 9/11 generation, which I was a part of, where we're just saying our country's under attack, let's fight Al Qaeda. Okay, that's why a whole wave joined. If you joined the CIA in the last 10 years, a lot of people are joining and they had to mouth the preferred slogans of the DEI commissars about things like the trans agenda. I have friends in the CIA who say that it feels like it's Trans Awareness Week every other week in the
Oh my
Central
God.
Intelligence Agency. And when you look at the issue of security clearances, which Tulsi Gabbard there brought up, these are not just people who are doing they're not working in the bowels of the Department of Agriculture. They're being entrusted with top secret and compartmented information, and they're clearly nuts. And this needs to be said. These people, when I applied to the CIA, it was, what do you have any gambling debts? What kind of credit card debt do you have? What kind of relationships do you have, with women, anyone overseas? I mean, they ask you all these very invasive questions. But apparently, if you want to have a hermaphrodite baby to run some kind of social experiment where you can raise them as the perfect trans kid and want everybody else to be on board for this, the NSA has a special spot for you.